What up, Mark, man?
What's popping?
Oh no, ain't nothing, man. Cold chilling, man. Up here trying to formulate, you know. Hey, look, I've been in the industry about 5 years myself, so
Mhm.
you know, they just work in the spot market. I have a few contracts, but how that go. It's business, so you disposable at any time. I just thought
Mhm.
about getting into a situation dealing with Best Buy. I ain't gonna say like
Mhm.
I'm like old buddy, but when I first got in, that's something that I ain't even want to touch on, just because the risk of claims and stuff. You always hear the horror stories about that, you know what I'm saying? So, I was just gonna ask, because I don't remember if I seen one of your videos where you actually spoke on that with somebody else, but what's your take on doing that type of stuff?
You from Texas?
No, I'm from Cleveland.
Oh, you sound like Pimp C.
Nah. Hey, look, man, they always tell me I sound like somebody or I sound like I'm from somewhere else but Cleveland, though. But, born and raised, man.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
you said what's my take on Final Mile?
No, I'm talking about, yeah, well, yeah, the white glove stuff, man. Because, like I said, initially getting into it, I ain't even want to deal with that stuff, man.
That's what I did. I did Final Mile for over a decade. Well, now over
Oh,
2012. Yeah. Yeah, about a decade I did Final Mile for. So,
oh,
it's a great opportunity.
okay. Yeah, see, I'm getting mixed
It's a
reviews as far as
you
that
getting
go. You know what I'm saying?
mixed reviews.
Yeah, yeah, because I went in for the interview with because who you deal with, I'm dealing with Diakon. You know what I'm saying? They the people who, get the stuff moved for Best Buy. You know what I mean?
I
And
never dealt with
you,
I never dealt with Diakon.
is there any reason why, or it just didn't, present itself?
I just didn't never had to deal with them. I dealt with Dynamics. I dealt with which is now T Force. I dealt with XPO.
Yeah,
I've dealt with a bunch of private companies that don't even exist no more. MXD, Excel, Urban Express. None of these companies exist anymore because they were acquired. Installs, which is what we were doing, Sam's Club and Best Buy through, which is now NAL under CRST. Installs merged with NAL, and then CRST acquired them. So for over the course of a year, and then nonstop. So over the course of and Select Express. So over the course of years, I maintained the contracts that I had. I never had to. I mean, there's a bunch of different 3PLs for Delatone, Siva. I just didn't have to deal with them. So
yeah, right. Okay, I got you. Yeah, well, Dicon is the one that's trying to push this thing in my neck of the woods. You know what I'm saying? So,
hmm
I went in there, I had to powwow with them and stuff like that, and their whole thing is, they give you like the rate of stuff per stop, and then it's like, certain other stuff you got to do to kind of get them funds rolling in. Like you got to do some upselling. You know
hmm
what I mean? Like, like they tell you. The guy ran it by me. He was like, "Well, say you get there and the customer just got a drop off, but they don't got no install per se. So you run it by him like, hey, I could do this install for you. It's a $200 value, but we could do it on the house. You just buy the accessories. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, we never had to do that.
See what
Upsell,
I'm saying?
they got y'all doing the upsell. They supposed to sell that
Yeah,
at the point.
yeah,
They supposed to sell that
yeah,
at the point of purchase, POP.
yeah. That's what they trying to tell me. So I'm up here like, wait a minute. So then they like, yeah, you get them to buy the extras, and then you try to, do other stuff like as far as like,
Me personally, I wouldn't. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. Now you can do what you want to do. I wouldn't do it.
and see, I'm getting that vibe though, because then they kind of thirsty too about blowing me up about this stuff. Like, hey man, you get
Well,
finished with that on board because
well,
they going through open force with it. So you know what I'm saying. I had to do the background check, pay for
mhm.
that. Had to do the drug test, pay for that. Then they hounded me. They hounded me about my help. I'm up here like, why they so thirsty, bruh? So when you get
Well,
that good, then you up here like,
it's
you
a lot
know,
of turnover. It's a lot of turnover for Final Mile. It's not something that's a lot of people listen to the kid I just talked to. How old are you?
I'm 42.
Okay, so listen to the kid I just talked to. The younger generation don't want to do labor intensive work, so their turnover is high. It's a great
Yeah,
opportunity. It's a great opportunity, right? But the reason why um they're probably aggressive with contacting you is because they need you. It's not
Yeah, man.
like it's not like the middle mile with the load board. It's far less competitive.
Yeah,
Excuse me, over there because of the what all is entailed with doing that type of work.
right. Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, because I'm
So
thinking I'm up here.
I wouldn't let their uh how aggressive they are with contact you. I wouldn't let that. Don't let that be the discouraging factor. That's just common for final mile.
Yeah, yeah, it's just more of the the extra stuff you gotta do to get that bang for your buck per stop. Like they like doing like the removal and stuff. That that pay like
That you got to do mobile. You got to do a 1-and-1. If a
or they
person,
say or like relocation. Like say if they want something in their house relocated in their
yeah,
garage.
yeah, but that's an upcharge. So you deliver a washer and dryer. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to remove the old washer and dryer. Or if you have a refrigerator, they may have you remove the old refrigerator. They may charge you $40 to take the old refrigerator to the garage and just plug it
Yeah,
in the
see, they not
garage.
they not paying that much though. See, that's the thing. When you said that just now, like they only paying half of that.
Well, here's the thing, because I just purchased a new appliance yesterday, and they charged me $50 for the removal, right? And then I saw when I was going through it was $40 to have it relocated, but $50 to remove the old appliance, right? So if they're
Yeah.
paying you, giving you half, it's going to be $25. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, they're charging $50 for the removal. So
Okay.
so so you know, half of that is $25.
Yeah, or 20 in my case, because that's what he pretty much was saying. Because like I'm trying to think how he put it, like as far as like they system of how I actually pay. It's a term for it. Something hours, something type of hours or something they were saying. So, like I said, pretty much each stop is starting off at $85. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to tack on the little extras to bump it up to where what I'm saying it's worth your while. Because like I said, you got somebody on your truck with you, you got to pay them too. If you bring
Mhm.
it in the base, that ain't gonna be enough money for real. You know what I'm saying?
How
So
much?
you
How
got to
much
be
they
pushing it.
How much they guarantee you? How much are they guaranteeing you a day? It should be a guarantee. What's the minimum guarantee?
See, and this is the thing, because he's talking about it's going to be varies enough. Like the stops might vary per day, so that's going to change things. So them dudes really didn't put no
What
guarantee on it. That's why I was up here like, hold on, like
What's the retailer? Well, who is this for? I know you
it's
said
for Best Buy.
Peloton. That's bad.
No, it ain't for Delaton. No, I ain't even messing with them. No, I ain't messing with them because they
Who you
hit me
said
up too on another side.
who you said
It's
it
through
was for again?
Diakon.
Do Diakon.
Diakon.
Okay. Yeah. So Cleveland ain't really a big market. So I mean, of course, on the new, they're not gonna. On the new, you're gonna probably get the worst route that they got available, right? And you're not gonna get a maximum amount of stops because you on the new, right? So you got to work your way up so you can build trust so that they know that you know what you're doing. Have you ever did this type of work before?
Never. Like I said, like I had a few contracts, but it was like,
Right.
when it was final mile, it was just one pallet dropping off at the door. Like I
All right.
remember I was listening to your comments about R&L. That's what I was doing for like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Just straight
Okay.
that, you
All
know
right.
what I mean? But then they
So
cut their contractors loose, you know what I'm saying? Like a year
all
and a
right.
half ago.
All right. So you're gonna have to learn how to do this, right?
Yeah,
You're
that's what
gonna
I'm
have
saying.
to.
I ain't tweaking, but I just wanted to know, like, because he put some numbers out there to me, like, man, I got a dude right now where he got, I'm dealing with 2 trucks. He talking about, I got a dude that got 5. He on route to see 1.5 million this year. I'm up here like, when they kick the numbers out there, they always fabricate a little bit of something. I'm up here like, oh, really?
Wait.
You
You
know what
said
I'm saying?
you said it's another guy in there with 2 trucks, and he said he on his way to a million and
No,
a half.
no, 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 no. He got 5 trucks. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? So,
Doing
he can,
doing final mile in there.
yeah, doing final mile in there.
Mm, yeah.
See, See what I'm
That's
saying?
yeah.
They put a little smoke on that shit, and they ain't giving you all the rundown. So I'm up here like, man, come on, bro. Like I said, it ain't my realm, first of all. So I'm kind of like the newbie looking in as far as that goes. Cause like I said, my thing was the spot market or me trying to, wiggle my way into some contracts or something. Like I was dealing with the freight app for,
Yes, I could see that. But that extra
he said
half a
1.5,
million,
Brody.
that extra half a million, because
Yeah.
250 is 250 is a it can be done and on a route
Yeah.
with find them out, but Cleveland, so that can easily be done here. Cleveland is a lot smaller market, so
Where you
to
at?
put that extra, I'm in Chicago,
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, definitely.
but
Yeah,
but
yeah,
hold
yeah,
on,
yeah, for
but
sure.
250 here for a final amount, that's a 6 day a week truck. That's not a 5 day a week. That's a 6 day a week, 6 7 day a week contract.
Yeah, he said 6 days for sure. That's what he
So
said. He said
so to
six
be
days for sure.
to be a smaller market, he got to be number one, and he got to be doing hella stops with hella. His trucks got to be doing hella stops with hella up charges. So they got to be doing one and ones. They got to be doing hookups. They got to be doing everything. They got to be
Yeah,
doing
right.
everything. They're not doing just basic drops.
Yeah, right.
So
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. And then, like I said, that came to the chance of that happening every single stop. That's not going to happen like that because you're going to have them things where you're just going to be dropping that shit. You're going to be going up out of there. You know what I'm saying? You might run into the situation where okay, I got to go bring this washer and this dryer in, and you got to hook up and stuff, and that be all. And and the removal, of course. But you know what I mean? Like I'm just hearing from different sides. Like some people, like man, I'm only seeing like 35 a week. And I'm up here like, well, god damn, like shit, I could see that working by myself. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like shit. And I gotta pay somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta take care of, X, Y, and Z. Like, I don't know about
that
that.
sounds about right in that market. 35 a week. Uh huh.
That's crazy. Like I said, I was working off the freight app and I was getting that working the freight app and I was just delivering plumbing supplies solo, just me. You know what I'm saying? Start at
Yeah.
5, be done by 2. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, you think I'm about to do that? And I got extra expenses because I got to have the help. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Then it's everything they take out. They talking about, oh, we got the fees for the occupational, you got the fees for the escrow, yada yada skip. I'm like, well, goddamn, bro. Like you really gotta bust your ass to really,
The
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they gotta take the escrow out because you're gonna have claims and shit like that. So
And look, and that's another thing, like, cause you hear them fairy tales where you like, man, I ain't never had no claims. I'm like, you ain't never had no claims.
that's a lie.
You know what I mean? And look, right now with me just doing just the solo dolo, my insurance pretty decent. So I ain't trying to jeopardize that per se, cause of course the insurance agent gonna talk you out of it. You're like,
Mhm.
man, shoot, I seen so many people take the dive because they reached into that realm and then next thing you
What
know what I mean?
reached into what realm?
Doing final mile like the white glove.
That's because they don't know what they're doing. See, so that's what thing I asked you. Do you know what you're doing? Because if you don't know
See,
what you're
oh
doing,
yeah,
yeah,
okay. See, that ain't came up. See, this
it
the thing. I got a guy that would kind of school me because he's been doing it for like 12 years. I'm
mhm.
the newbie on that side, but I take notes. So I mean, yeah. But as far as that go, like besides me doing my own personal stuff, no, I ain't never laid a hand on hooking no dishwasher up and no stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like you said, the market around here kind of crazy. Like, oh, buddy, he's from Pittsburgh, wasn't he? So it's kind of similar is in that regard. Like, but see, my thing is I ain't scared to, he told me he got spooked after looking at it for a week. Like, I'm pounding pavement. So, I done made them relationships over the last 5 years where, they calling me, but at the same time, like I said, the market is kind of, around this way. So, that's why I even thought about, well, let me go hop into this. You know what I mean? I had another opportunity. You ever heard of Arhaus Furniture?
Arhaus.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they hit me up, and I actually had an interview with them last week too. And now they say it's some chicken, dealing with them. Like, they stops. You automatically leaving Cleveland. You're going to Pittsburgh. You're going to Columbus, Ohio. You're going to Toledo. Them stops paying 200 a stop. You know what I'm saying? Just off the tickety. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? And
because
you
I
go,
because our house is more. premium furniture.
You
So
dealing
that's
with
almost,
professionals.
yeah. So that's almost like not quite, but like restoration hardware. You know, dealing with that type of shit. You're gonna get paid more because spending $5,000 on a dresser. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's why that pays. But the higher reward, the higher risk. You scratch something from there, so you got the
You
people
go to
that's
a million
going.
dollar house, you scratching the
So
floor,
so
you know,
right. So
shit.
you going to a different level house, and you're dealing
Yeah.
with a different level of furniture. So
Yeah, right, right.
your skill set has to be superb. So
Yeah, right. And they offering a tad bit of stuff too. But the thing they said though was like, you know, say if I just had a business and didn't have my authority, because pretty much they saying once you get contracted, you really gonna be running under their authority. You ain't even gonna be running under your own authority. I don't know if you ever heard of nothing like
who
that,
said who
but
tell you that? Diakon told you that?
no, the people for our house.
Oh, yeah, I don't
Cause
know.
you gonna pretty much have their branding on your truck, like on the doors and stuff. It's gonna say that on the side of it. It's not gonna have like with me with JMP or nothing like that. It's gonna have, what I'm saying, burger transfer. That's the real deal right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're gonna be masquerading under them like you ain't even using your authority for real. So I never even heard of a situation like that. I'm like, damn, for real?
Yeah, no, some places do it. If that's what they requirements are, then that's what their requirements are. But shit, $200 a stop. Shit, what's the problem?
And they say they pay every day. They said we print money every day. That's what the dude said. He said we print money every day. So if you want to get paid, just hit me up by 4 o'clock. He said most people let it stack for a week, but you just hit me up by 4 o'clock, and I have it on a com data card. I'm like, damn, y'all working like that?
Hmm. Yeah. Sound like you got some decisions to make, big dog. You sound like you not too happy with what middle mile or whatever it is you're doing. You looking for other opportunities. Sound like you got some decisions to make.
Yeah, right. And I ain't afraid to work. You know what I'm saying? I said, we in the same demographic down there. So I mean, I ain't no big guy myself. But I ain't afraid to work. So hey, look, I got to move around some $10,000 beds from the Queen of Sheba, to get this bag. I mean, they said it's 6 days a week. You know what I'm saying too. So and then they like at the most you do 8-9 stops a day. So it ain't even that many stops for real.
That's
You
for
know what I mean?
Arhaus.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that ain't bad. If they paying $200 a stop.
Hell yeah, I'm up here like, what? He said that. I'm like, man, I had to clean my glasses. Now I'm hearing it. You feel me? I'm like,
Well,
hold on.
I would try to find a good helper. Make sure that and educate yourself on how to move shit, lift shit, carry shit, angle shit,
Yeah,
wrap things, protect things the correct way
yeah,
because that ain't IKEA, bro. So a claim gonna cost
yeah,
you.
right.
You know, dealing with that. One nightstand might be $2,500. So you know what I'm saying. So
Heck yeah. No, I went on their site just to see it. I was up here like, man, what the hell? You got a bed for 10 bands? Like, man, shit.
accounts like that, you have to think: Are you qualified to take them? Because you got people buying $10,000 bed, five, six, $7,000 dressers. You can only imagine the type of homes you're going in. So now you
Yeah, and
have to
that's what they
make
were
sure
saying.
that you have the proper things to protect, the floors. We don't train people to wheel dollies through people's homes over here. So you
Right.
need to make sure you got runners. If you're dealing with, multi-million dollar homes, you might want to get you some masonite. You dig what I'm saying? You might want to get you some
Oh, the
masonite.
Masonite board.
Yeah, you might want to get you some masonite boards. Um,
Yeah,
door jams. You want to the door jams. Get the padding for the doors. For the door jams. The banisters, all that stuff. You want to get all of that when you're dealing with these types of homes because you don't want nothing. You
right.
mess around, walk in, somebody got marble floors. all through the crib, not marble slab, not tile,
Right.
slab. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's different.
Yeah.
So
Right.
not so just
It ain't for
that's
the
just
weak.
making
It ain't for the faint of heart.
no, it's just not for a person who's not skilled. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like here's the thing: if you get into that, I wouldn't recommend someone that's coming in on the new do something like Arhaus or Restoration Hardware. I would recommend someone that's on the new start with something maybe like on the furniture side, like IKEA or maybe Bob's. You know what I'm saying? Make your mistakes there because it that learning curve there is going to be a lot cheaper than dealing with like a R House or Walter E. Smith or Restoration Hardware because you're dealing with way more expensive furniture and you're dealing with way more expensive homes. So it's the difference from a $3,000 or $4,000 floor repair to a $20,000 to $30,000 floor repair. It's a big difference.
Sheesh. Yeah. Right. No, I got you, OG. Yeah, for sure, man. No, I thought I'd get a little bit of insight on that because, like I said, I know you know, kind of skilled in that realm of things. So, like I said, I'm the newbie as far as that part of it go. But like I said, it was presented to me, so I'm up here like they was, quick to get me in there though on that side. So I'm like, well, damn, let me go hear what they talk about. And he start when our house started kicking the numbers, I'm like, 200 to stop. When? Never. Like, what? Shoot, that's great paper in the day. You know what I'm saying? 8, 9 stops. You could pay your help pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? You after expenses, you still be sweet, on a daily.
Hmm.
It's just, in a matter of learning something new. Like I said, I ain't never really like when I was delivering furniture, like when I was doing the R&L stuff, that stuff that's in a box. So all I'm doing is pallet jacking it on a pallet to somebody's garage. This ain't that. You know what
Oh,
I'm
you was
saying?
doing you was doing curbside, and
Then doing that final
white
glove, mine
glove.
was
Yeah,
different.
white. The moment you do okay, so curbside, then you got threshold, and you got threshold room of choice, and then you got white glove. The moment you cross the threshold, the potential, the risk becomes greater. You know what I'm saying? Because you can just try be getting something through the doorway across the threshold, you can damage some shit. So the moment you attempt to start going into someone's home, the risk becomes greater. And the higher up they, the level they pay for delivery, the greater the risk. So, it's just something to
Yeah,
think
right.
about. I would, it's a big difference from curbside.
Yeah, definitely for sure, for sure. Or bumping a dock anyway. So shoot, yeah, man, that's something I definitely got to think about. But I'm one of the ones I take a risk. So what I mean, I just ain't trying to pay that heavy of a toll on it. So you got to be on your p's and q's. So I hear what you're saying, like making sure you got all that equipment and the little extra knickknacks and stuff. So everything go
Hmm.
flawless. So yeah,
Hmm.
I got some stuff I got to think about though.
Yeah, think about it. Look into it. Just make sure that you educate yourself before you jump into it, big dog.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, man. Hey, look, I appreciate your time, Brody. Like I said,
Hey, man,
it's been a
man,
pleasure.
hey, man, say, man. You sound like you from Texas. Hey,
hey,
man,
hey,
say, man. You sound like a
hey,
killer
look,
from the side,
hey, look,
man.
I've been
Pimp
getting it
C,
all
man.
my life, man. Hey, where you from? Where you from? From Cleveland, man. I swear to God. Hey,
Y'all, yeah, you sound like you from Fort Worth, Texas. So,
hey, look, my people came up down south though, so it's in me though. You feel me? So
nah, I hear
yeah,
you.
man.
I hear you. I hear you, player. I hear you, player.
Yeah. But no, like I
All right.
said, Mark, man, I appreciate you, dog, for sure, man. You enlightening, the world with what you know. I be peeping in and out, you know what I mean? So you keep doing what you're doing,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, man. I probably ain't gonna be around too much longer, big dog.
Hey, look, ain't nothing wrong with it. Like I said, you put plenty of years in the game, so shit, you know. Hey, look, sometimes you gotta make that the grand opening, grand closing. You feel me?
I ain't put too many years in. You talking about YouTube or you talking about
No, no, I'm talking
trucking?
about just doing what you're doing in the trucking industry. You know what I'm saying, with the moving or whatever you had going on.
Oh yeah, I'm retired from that, big dog.
Damn, it's raining like a motherfucker out here. I think I had to stop and listen for a second. God damn, you know. But
All right,
yeah, man.
all right,
Hey,
all right, big dog.
I'm out of here, G.
All right, man. Be safe out there.
Yeah, take care, dude.
All right, later.
Yep, yep.